This is your PPP Round 2 update for Friday, January the 8th, 2021. If you were busy over the holidays like myself, then I'm going to share a very brief summary to catch you up, then discuss a few updates, so hang tight. On December 21st, Congress passed the new relief bill, and on Sunday, December 27th, President Trump finally signed that bill into law, and the SBA had 10 days to issue additional guidance. That guidance was then issued on Wednesday, January the 6th, which is when I published my first PPP Round 2 video, and this video is an updated version from that one. For some reason, the SBA website hasn't been updated as fast as other websites or as articles have been written. So I'll link all of this in the description below if you have more time to read after watching this video. Of the $284 billion the SBA will be handing out for first and second PPP forgivable small business loans, community banks are set to get the first 2 days of PPP 2.0 to themselves. Community financial institutions or local community banks are those with $1 billion in assets or less, and they will have exclusive access to the Paycheck Protection Program portal for at least the first 2 days when it reopens. The agency said it plans to connect borrowers through its online lender match tool to small lenders who can aid traditionally underserved communities, adding that certain hours will be dedicated to helping the smallest PPP lenders. The main takeaway is that any business that did not receive a PPP loan previously, or those businesses that experienced a 25% reduction in revenue in any one quarter of 2020 over the same quarter in 2019, can apply for this new round of PPP. Even more helpful, businesses, sole proprietors, and independent contractors applying for loans of $150,000 or less based on the same calculation as round 1, which is 2.5 times 1 month of 2019 payroll, do not have to submit new documentation if applying through the same lender. The new regulations do give lenders the ability to request additional documentation from borrowers if they deem necessary. So if you are applying for this for the very first time, then the second round of PPP of the 25% loss in gross receipts doesn't apply to you. These borrowers of less than $150,000, however, have to document the reduction in revenue upon applying for forgiveness. The new program will open as soon as lenders can reestablish the process, and it expires on March 31st, 2021. So to the gentleman that commented on my first video, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that. Does not surprise me that your lender did not require you to show this documentation because you won't have to show it apparently upon getting the loan. But if you want this loan forgiven, you're going to have to show that documentation. Borrowers of loans in excess of $150,000 will have to document their reduction in gross receipts upon applying for round 2 of PPP. The simplest method to do so, according to the regulations, is to submit 2020 and 2019 tax returns if available. If not, quarterly financial or bank statements may suffice. Unlike the first round of PPP, however, while the method of calculating the new loans is the same, the new loans are capped at $2 million. In addition, while first-time borrowers can have 500 or fewer employees, as in round 1 of PPP, second-time applicants can only have a maximum of 300 employees. So although this is PPP round 2, there is a little bit of a difference here between those that are applying for the second time and those that missed it the first time and are actually applying for the first time. The new PPP loans are largely subject to the same terms and conditions of the first round, including that the loans are 100% guaranteed by the federal government, no collateral is required, no personal guarantees are required, the interest rate will be 1% calculated on a non-compounding, non-adjustable basis, the maturity is 5 years, and loans will be processed by authorized lenders who will be permitted to rely on certifications of the borrowers to determine the borrower's eligibility and use of the loan proceeds. As with PPP round 1, you do have to use 60% of your PPP loan on payroll. They did expand what you are able to use the remaining 40% on. However, keep in mind, 60% of this does have to be used for payroll salary. This guidance outlined the following set-asides for these businesses: $15 billion across first and second draw PPP loans, for lending by community financial institutions. So if you are applying right away in the first 2 days, there is specifically $15 billion set aside for you. $15 billion and $25 billion for first draw and second draw PPP loans, respectively, for borrowers with a maximum of 10 employees or for loans less than $250,000 to borrowers in low or moderate income neighborhoods. The SBA has determined that at least 25% of each of those set-asides will go to each one of the groups: loans to borrowers with a maximum of 10 employees and loans less than $250,000 to borrowers in low or moderate income neighborhoods. If you want to jump on the next round of PPP forgivable loans right away, then the best thing you should do from today, Friday, January the 8th, is to start to get in touch with your local community banks in your area to familiarize yourself with their application process and paperwork. If you're willing to wait after the first 2 days and aren't in any immediate rush, then go ahead and continue to check the SBA website for updates to that portal that they mentioned that they will be using to match you up with other lending and banking institutions. Also, there probably will be some fintech banks out there that you'll be able to do online applications with as well. That will certainly streamline the process for you and for them. Also, I know I mentioned a moment ago that the SBA website hadn't been updated recently, so let me help you navigate how to get to the actual application, which shows effective as of December 31st, 2020. What you want to do is you want to go to sba.gov and then go ahead at the very top, click here, and then at the very, very bottom, you want to roll down to funding options where it says click here to learn more about available SBA loans, and then you'll scroll down to funding options on the left where it says PPP, and then from there it will say Paycheck Protection Program. Keep scrolling down to where it says loan details and keep scrolling down to where it says how to apply, and then in that second paragraph where it says how to apply, click PPP Borrower Application Form, and that's where you will see it says Paycheck Protection Program Borrower Application Form, effective December 31st, 2020, and then you want to click Download PDF. That is where I got the paperwork for that first video yesterday. You'll have to take that SBA application form to your local lender, and that will be a part of your paperwork application process. Also, prior to finishing this video, I reached out to a local buddy of mine who's in the commercial banking industry. He's a commercial banker, commercial relationship manager, and he was very well involved with the first round of PPP funding, and he specifically dealt with companies that had $500 million in revenue or more. And I just asked him for some tips and tricks that I can now share with you. And the main thing that he said is for you just to be organized. And that means that paperwork on the SBA website, any other documentation that you think that you will need that your bank is going to be asking you for, you want to go ahead and get that organized ahead of time. Save it all in a PDF, save it all in a file within your computer so that when this portal opens up and when your local bank actually starts taking your applications, you'll have it all buttoned up, you'll have it all dialed in, and you could apply for everything very smooth, and hopefully you'll get your funding within 24 to 48 hours or sooner, and that way you'll be organized, and it'll be a very clean and easy and smooth process for you with as little hiccups as possible. I usually post financial planning and financial awareness videos each week. If you happen to be self-employed or owner of a small business, or shoot, if you have any 1099 income, check out my video about 10 tax deductions and tax credits for 2020 and 2021. We'd love for you to subscribe to the channel as well. Hey, I appreciate your time. See you in the next one.